Hello everyone and welcome back to the Intro to C++ tutorial series. I once again, like always, am Pharaoh, and today we're going to be talking about something that's going to be adding on to what we talked about last time. So if you didn't see last video, we talked about if statements, and you can go ahead and click on the card up here at the top right of the screen to go and check that out if you haven't already done so. And basically, if you noticed last time, our code that we write in the if statements, it only runs if the statement up here is true or false, right? We can say if this is equal to false, then we can run something else. And you might be thinking, well, like, what happens if this isn't true? Or what if this isn't false? So what you could do is you could write another if statement. So you could say if CanFire is equal to false, then you're going to do stuff. And remember that the double equals means equivalence, and the single equals is going to be assignment. So we're assigning this variable to false, and we're checking to see if this variable is 0. So yeah, we could do that, or the better way of going ahead and doing that is using an else statement. So what an else statement looks like is it basically looks like this. So you say else, and there's no conditions here, and so you can just add in some brackets. So to prove that this works, I'm going to replace all of this right here over here. So, and then I'm going to have to change this to false. So if CanFire is equal to false, then what we'll do is we'll do nothing. But if this is a false statement, then we'll do this block of code. Because remember, whatever this evaluates to, so it's going to evaluate to either true or false. If it runs through and it says, okay, yep, this is a true statement, then we'll run everything inside of this block of code. But the else statement is going to work directly with the if statement directly above it. So what it'll do is it'll say, oh, this is a false statement, so I'm going to go ahead and run this block of code instead. So in order to prove that, I'm going to create a breakpoint, and what we should see is before this if statement gets run, CanFire will be equal to true, right? And then after we come to this breakpoint, what we should see is CanFire becomes false. So I'm going to go ahead and run this code real quick. All right, so we've hit the first breakpoint, and we've got CanFire is equal to true and ammo is equal to 1. So I'm going to step to the next line up, and we skipped directly over all of the if code. So now we're running this ammo equals or ammo minus minus, and then you can see our ammo has been decreased because this code right here was run, and then CanFire became false because all of this code inside of these brackets were just run. So I'm going to go ahead and continue the rest of that, and everything works fine. So how is this used in actual games? So I'm going to go ahead and reconfigure that. I'm not going to use this anymore. I think I've proved my point with that. So what we're going to do is, what we do in games is we say, okay, well, if we can't fire, if the ammo is equal to 0, right, which would be the scenario in which CanFire becomes false, right? So if ammo is equal to 0, then CanFire is going to be false. So if CanFire is false, then that means that we don't have ammo, and if you've ever played like a first-person shooter or something like that, maybe something visually, pops up on the screen and says, hey, we can't actually do what you want us to do because this Boolean is false, right? And what we'll do is I'm gonna use something in C++ here, and this is called a comment. So in order to place a comment, it's just a slash and a slash, and I'm gonna say we can't fire. And basically with this comment, what I can do is I can completely ignore everything that I write here. When the code gets compiled and it runs, whatever I run right here is going to be completely ignored. So if I take away these two slashes, right? So we can't fire, I get error messages because that's not actual like C++ code. This is straight up English language, we can't fire. So I can add these two right here and compile again and everything's fine. And this is just a way that we can let people know, let other people know what is actually going on in our code. We can do all kinds of good stuff with comments. We can say, you know, this is the ammo variable. We can do all kinds of stuff with comments. But we'll talk more about comments later. I just wanted to demonstrate the if and else. All right. So if we can't fire, then we're gonna do some stuff, right? We're going to say, I don't know, maybe we'll play a sound effect. So maybe if you've got a first-person shooter and the ammo doesn't, if we don't have ammo, then maybe you'll hear a click click from the weapon that we've got. And that will be an auditory cue to let us know that we don't have any ammo. We could also just print something out on the screen. So we can say, tell the player that he has no ammo. And we can do all kinds of stuff inside of this else statement here. And just to show you that this isn't, you know, some magic mumbo jumbo that we're talking about, I'm going to show you an example from a real game. It's not a first-person shooter, but it's a real game nonetheless that uses the same exact kind of code structure, I would imagine, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take a look, and here we've got Horizon Zero Dawn. Came out earlier this year. Big AAA title. And it's going to use the same sort of if-else type deal with its own ammo system. So here, you might be able to see, you might not, because the UI is in the way. Come on. So there's an ammo counter down at the bottom of the screen. And as you can see right here, Aloy has 11 arrows, and when I shoot, more arrows disappear from her counter. So now she's got 7, I shoot another, she has 6, and this can keep going on and on until we get down to 0, right? Because as long as we have ammo, as long as that variable is greater than 0, we can keep firing. So she's going to keep firing, and she's going to fire one more time. And wow, look, already, as soon as that variable hits 0, we can see that visually we've got a red indicator that says, hey, we have no ammo. We've got this text right in front of the screen, right above the reticle, saying no ammo. And then Aloy herself says, weapons aren't any use without ammo. So this is actually actual code that gets actually written inside of actual games, right? And then we'll actually see one more thing. Here, we could also do, you know, take it a step further and do what they do here and tell the player how they can get more ammo. Now this, you know, it might seem more like game design than programming, but somebody's got to program it in there, right? So that's basically how it gets done at the base level, right? So if we have ammo, so if CanFire is equal to true, then we'll shoot. So we'll say, in Aloy's case, fire arrow. arrows, you know, they're going to go away. So minus minus on that ammo. If the ammo is equal to 0, then we will set CanFire to false. And if none of this is even true, then we're going to do some other stuff. So Aloy makes a comment about having no ammo. And then tell the player that he has no ammo. So like all of these things, they're actually being used in game code. And what I'll try to do is I'll try to use examples from real games, like I did just now, in the future, just so that we can see what kind of stuff we're actually doing. This actually also works for all different kinds of systems. So if you've got an RPG and you need 20 ability points to fire off a spell and you only have 15, so if the ability points is greater than or equal to 20, then what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to fire off the spell, right? But if not, then maybe you'll play a sound effect. Maybe you'll do something else to let the player know that he can't actually fire. That's going to be it for me today, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, be sure to ask them down in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, toss the video a like. If you didn't like the video, then hit the dislike button too. Let me know what I can do better, because I do this for you guys. And this is actually my first video since I hit 100 subscribers, so I want to thank you guys for that. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.